What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick-em plays for Thursday, January 30th, 2025. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, send promo code DailyDog. Get that 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. It's literally the best promo code out there. You're gonna see a lot of promo codes on shows that are bigger than mine with worse deposit match bonuses than mine. So check that out. And also, I want to say, Underdog is doing a Split the Pot Championship Games edition. Sorry. They haven't announced the Split the Pot, potential Split the Pot for the Super Bowl yet. I was quoting the old email from the last thing. So never mind that. Let's just get to our picks today. All right. Obviously, I've got NFL picks. I'll get to those later. I'm going to start with NHL today, changing up the order a little bit. Let's go with Troy Terry, higher than 0.5 points as the Anaheim Ducks travel travel up to Calgary Flames. Troy Terry is just a guy that I put on the slip basically every other day. He's just a good point getter, 39 points on the year, but he's been very consistent lately as getting a goal or an assist as the Ducks have been improving over the last couple of weeks. So Troy Terry, you're still getting good value on him to get on the stat sheet. Pairing that with Leon Draisaitl, higher than 0.5 goals, as the Oilers are hosting the Red Wings. I don't think the Red Wings are a very good team. Draisaitl is the leading goal getter in the NHL. You're still getting him at an enhanced multiplier versus a team in the Red Wings who I just don't think is very good. They're right around 500, 9-10-3 on the road. So good spot for my man Leon Draisaitl to get a goal here. It's going to be one of those days where we got the Draisaitl stretching his hip flexors on the ice on the thumbnail for this show. That gives you a 2.9x multiplier. If Troy Terry gets a goal, Troy Terry just needs a point or a goal or assist, and then Leon Draisaitl higher than 0.5 goals, 2.9x. NHL number 2, Kyle Connor, higher than 0.5 points as the Winnipeg Jets go face off against the Bruins. Kyle Connor is one of the best point men in the NHL, 29 goals, 36 assists. I think the Bruins are just completely inconsistent. They could maybe have a good game defensively, goaltending wise, but I just don't trust them to do it consistently. I think the Jets are legitimately top 3 team in the NHL, and I think the Bruins hover between, top 10 and bottom 10 on a game-to-game basis. So give me the Jets, man. Kyle Connor, higher than half a point here. And then pairing that with Macklin Celebrini, my man Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks, higher than 0.5 goals. Get some juice on this entry. Celebrini is obviously a first overall pick last year, having a very good rookie season. I think he's awesome, and I think the Sharks team again is feisty. They're not necessarily going to win. They're on the road to the Kraken. They're just not going to win a ton of games. They don't have enough depth, but they do have the bright shining star in Macklin Celebrini. So give me Celebrini higher than 0.5 goals with Kyle Connor higher than 0.5 points, 3.46x multiplier. All right, let's get to the NBA. If you listen to my other show, you listen to Just Win Sports, you know that I think that the Lakers are going to destroy the Wizards today because the Wizards get destroyed by everyone, even though there's no Anthony Davis, who I'm sure would have had a massive game here. I think LeBron is going to pick up the slack. He's going to have a big game. Higher than 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Pretty high, pretty crazy number for LeBron, considering, his age. He's 40 years old. And, you're not necessarily going to expect him to have a lot of 30-plus point goal scoring games. But against this Wizards team that just never really is up in any situation, I think that he can be in the high 20s in points. I think he can be double digits in assists, and I think he can be pushing double digits in rebounds as well. So higher than 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists for LeBron. Pairing that with John Morant, lower than 22.5 points. Not an easy game with the Rockets coming to town in Memphis. John Morant has not been scoring 23 or more points at all lately. I mean, I think it's like 5 games straight where Ja hasn't gotten over this mark. I think that it's going to be a tough one. Yes, maybe he could have go into hero mode or something here against the Rockets because it's a big team. But it's just he's not doing it. Even in their wins, even in their big wins, he's not putting up those kind of points. This is the last 5 games: 10 points, 11 points, 16 points, 19 points, 21 points. Just not even close. And he had a 29-pointer at Houston. So, maybe people are thinking, oh yeah, he's going to be able to do that again. But the game before that, he had 12. So it's just the points aren't consistently there. He's only averaging 20.3 points per game this season. 22.5. I don't know why they keep hanging it this high. I'm going lower. This is a 3x multiplier with LeBron higher than 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Ja Morant lower than 22.5 points. NBA number 2. My God, I'm going back to Rudy Gobert after a terrible game yesterday. I thought he was going to have a double-double yesterday. He was like low singles in every category yesterday. So I'm going to take Rudy Gobert, though, higher than 23.5 points, rebounds, assists at the Jazz. Homecoming for Rudy. Obviously, he was a big part of this team for a long time. I just don't think that the big men on the big men on the Jazz are much of a threat for Gobert when it comes to getting boards. I think they're not very good defensively, so I think he's going to be able to get points. I think, honestly, pushing double digits with points and rebounds is on the menu here. So I think higher than 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists is good. Let's go like 15 points, 10 boards, and, 3 assists. Let's just really crush this number. Anfernee Simons, higher than 19.5 points as the Blazers host the Magic. Magic have been more of the tragic lately, not necessarily the Magic that I was a big bet on team for me a couple weeks ago. They've been dealing with injuries. Suggs is potentially not even going to play in this game. Suggs is the guy that's making everything go for this team right now. So I'm going to go the other way and take Anfernee Simons higher than 19.5 points. Simmons, on the other hand, he's been having a very solid scoring streak lately. He's been getting into the 20s with regularity. I want to say 3 of his last 4 games, he's been in the 20s. So give me Anfernee Simons higher than 19.5 points here as the Tragic make the long trip, basically the longest trip in the NBA from Orlando up to up Portland. I mean, I guess Miami would be further. But one of the longest trips in the NBA up there. All right, that is a 3x multiplier standard. All right, we're going to go from there to the tennis courts of Singapore. I'm going to take Anna Kalinskaya to lose higher than 0.5 sets. It's a tough one because she's going against a name that I really am I can't pronounce it, but it's Menenchaya Sawangake. She has been playing. She's a Thai player. She plays very, very well on these tournaments in Asia. Anna Kalinskaya is just always an injury concern, and Anna Kalinskaya rarely plays a straightforward match. I think Sawangake is going to be able to win a set here. So Anna Kalinskaya higher than 0.5 sets lost, and then Elise Mertens higher than 0.5 sets lost. This one's going to be played in the wee hours / early morning of Friday. Again, Elise Mertens, very good player, but Camila Osorio is just somebody who's so hard to get out of there. She usually finds a way to win a set and push you deep into a match. So give me Camila Osorio to win a set, aka Elise Mertens to lose higher than 0.5 sets. All right, tennis number 2, Ann Lee, higher than 22.0 games played. I think that so just Ann Lee in general, she's not necessarily a serve dominant player. She's a rally player. That obvious, and this is versus Kimberly Burrell, by the way. This is more about Ann Lee just not necessarily being able to slam the door on people very often. She is a nice favorite against Kimberly Burrell. And I guess, it could be a straightforward one, but I just don't think so. I think Burrell is playing very well. Burrell showed a ton of heart last night, coming back late against Haley Baptiste to win that thing in 3 sets. I think that this is going to be another grinded out affair, so higher than 22.0 games played, probably a 3-setter. Pairing that with Felix Auger-Aliassime, lower than 22.0 games played. I think FAA is in great form. Outside of the weird match he played in Aussie Open against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Outside of that, he's looked very, very good in late 2024 into 2025. He's going against Boo. I can't say Boo's first name. He's a Chinese player. Very solid on hard courts, I'm not going to lie, but he's not going to have the firepower of FAA. I think FAA is going to get this thing done very straightforward over in Montpellier. So Ann Lee higher than 22.0 games played. Felix Auger-Aliassime lower than 22.0 games played. 3x multiplier. All right, Lotto number 1. We just need 3 things to happen. Jaxson Hayes higher than 0.5 double doubles. LeBron, feed the man. Jaxson Hayes, get the boards, please. Pair that with Travis Konecny higher than 0.5 assists. One, I think that he's one of the best assist men, in the NHL right now, and I think that he's a big part of his Flyers. And then I'm going to pair with Marc-Andre Fleury, lower than 2.5 goals against at the Canadiens. Marc-Andre Fleury, he gave up 5 goals in his last game. You know what happened last time he gave up 5 goals in a game? He gave up 1 the next game. I think Fleury he's got plenty of time to rest. I think he's in a good spot here to keep this thing low scoring. So Jaxson Hayes higher than 0.5 double doubles. Travis Konecny higher than 0.5 assists. And Marc-Andre Fleury lower than 2.5 goals against 20.3x multiplier, or you can go flex it 10.15x/3.19x if it goes 2 out of 3. Lotto number 2, this is the big flex. Connor McDavid higher than 0.5 assists. Dustin Wolf higher than 2.5 goals against. I think that the Ducks are going to score points, obviously. Gabriel Velarde higher than 0.5 points. Mikko Rantanen higher than 2.5 shots. Braden Point higher than 0.5 points. Lauri Markkanen lower than 19.5 points. Alperen Sengun higher than 9.5 boards. DeAndre Ayton higher than 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. 34.53x multiplier, or 1.77x if it goes 7 of 8, and 0.77x if it goes 6 for 8. All right, quickly, NHL or NFL that's on the books. Devontae Smith higher than half a rushing plus receiving touchdown, with Travis Kelce higher than 63.5 receiving yards. 5.28x multipliers, what I got. You can get that for about 4.8x right now. And then the Super Bowl entry number 2 I already have in. Kareem Hunt higher than 0.5 rushing plus receiving touchdowns. Dallas Goedert higher than 52.5 receiving yards. All right, big day, huge Thursday. Let's make some money. Check out the series I'm doing on Twitter and on TikTok and on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, et cetera, where I'm doing a little bankroll building challenge with fantasy. Thank you for listening. Good luck on your picks, and let's make some money.